GM. We are
all of the above, but I'm just grateful to be here with Valerie and Creatrice and putting it down live on X. Let's go.
Oh, it's so good to hear you, Tyler. Every time it's just like music to my ears, honestly. And I'm excited. I'm hoping to hear some of your travels. If you have any stories, maybe we'll get into it if you want to share anything about what you've been working on and your travels. How's Lorenzo doing? All the things. So feel free to share as we go.
Grazie. You
yeah,
want to
I'm
share now?
stoked to hear you. Oh no, sorry, Tyler. Yeah, share whatever you're gonna say.
Uh, trying to think. I drove to Phoenix, spent a couple days, did some work, and then I drove back. It's kind of uneventful. Got some good pod. Listened to a lot of good pod. Does anyone listen to the rewatchables?
Never heard
Oh,
of one.
Oh,
same.
they cover their favorite movies that are rewatchable. So you have all the classics, and they have these categories that they go through. And so I listened to one on Magnolia. If you haven't seen that, that's Paul Thomas Anderson's third motion picture that is absolutely outstanding, super confusing. It's a head trip, kind of frantic, coked up vibe. But it's a NBD. It's never been done. Beautiful film, so they cover that. And then I did the reheat, or was it the three heat? But the podcast hosts, their favorite movie is the movie Heat. And so they did 3 episodes on one movie over the course of like 5 years. And I just want to give a shout out to Bill Simmons, who's the host of Rewatchables. This guy created his own pod back in the day called the Ringer Network. And, after about a decade of putting it down, he sells it to Spotify for $200 million. Can you believe it?
Whoa.
Wow.
We just got a comment too from Authored Styles. He says he loves the Rewatchables. So I can't see him in the room, but he's watching us. So maybe he's in YouTube or something. Maybe he's watching the live stream. Actually, we are live streaming on X. So he just commented that, Tyler. You got somebody who knows what you're talking about.
Good pod. Good pod. Great taste, buddy.
Yeah, he's got great taste in shows. He's a loyal listener of our show. So I mean, just saying. Also, shout out.
That's true. He listens to our show, so I think Authored knows a thing or two about good shows.
Oh my gosh, this is where I would put the little laughing sound effect. But here's something, a little disclaimer. When I'm hosting a space and I'm having the video on, I'm no longer using the sound effects. It's all on Val, because the button to open up the soundboard is in the same place as the camera on and off button. So last time when we were in a space, I was trying to use the soundboard and I turned off the camera, and then it was like a whole mess to turn it back on. So there you go. That's the briefing. X, please update the UX and make it a little easier for us to use. Yeah. So good. So anyway, well, thank you for that bit of news, Tyler. We've got another Web3 bit of news. Ding. And Tyler. And with this bit of news, we've got V Dizzle, our in-house Ordinals correspondent, and a newly minted Bitcoin Ordinals nodes operator. Let's go. Here we go. Valerie, tell us what was going on.
It's kind of weird. I gotta clap for myself now. So, all right, bear with me. I appreciate the little signals you're doing, creator. So keep at it. I would appreciate the signals of when I should do the soundboard. And also too, I gotta figure out what all the little logos emojis mean, what sound they do. So I know the toilet flushing one though. I know what that one does. Anyways, yeah, I'm super excited. Let me see if I can pin up top my tweet that I tweeted this morning at around 4:14 a.m. Yes, I was up quite early. Sometimes when I get super excited or something's on my mind, I am ready to just go. So that was me today. I was super excited. I set up my Bitcoin Core node. Now, many of you who are probably listening, okay, that's old news. What do you mean, Valerie? You barely set it up, because if you've been keeping up with the Web3 space, everyone, from 2 weeks ago, leading up to the halvening, everybody was talking about setting up their node, getting the correct hard drives, whether it's your internal hard drive or your external hard drive, and trying to set up your node to possibly get that edge to mint and etch runes. Now, I will admit, I was part of that hype where I felt like I needed to get this to go and etch a rune, mint runes. But as I was doing my research, understanding what nodes' purposes are, understanding how runes is totally new protocol. No one knew how it was going to unfold the day of. I really understood that, you know what? I don't need to rush how I originally felt. I don't need to rush anymore, because I realized what I really want to contribute to is the security and decentralization of the Bitcoin network, blockchain network. And so when I started having that shift in perspective, I really decided that I didn't just want to copy and paste from someone's guide, right? Because people were tweeting, making threads of how to copy and paste code to make your node work. Um, which is great for people who just want something that's quick and it's temporary. But once I understood the importance of being a validator and validating transactions, then I realized I actually want to understand the code that I may be copying and pasting. And what I also realized is that you can actually edit and configure your node to your needs, to your liking. So, yeah, you may be copying and pasting from someone's code, but you may be missing out on a lot of the capabilities your node can have and do for you. And so I only figured that out while going through what did I say? I think I said did I pin it up top yet? My bad if I did it. I went through 638 lines of code all by myself. And I started this 2 weeks ago. Literally the day after I came back from NFT NYC, I lines. I knew nothing about how to edit things, what you should be inputting, how to enable, how to disable certain things. I knew nothing. And, there was a lot of resources out there showing you, like, oh, YouTube videos of how to set up a core node. There's Discords out there, how to set up the core node. But again, that was all like, here, copy and paste. And so really, chat gpt was my best friend in this journey. I literally copied every single line, pasted into ChatGPT, and was like, explain to me what this means. And me and ChatGPT like had in-depth conversations. Like it would tell me like, oh, this line of code is to enable blah 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 blah. Maybe you want transactions to go faster. Maybe you want to speed up your gas fee. Maybe you want to do X, Y, and Z. And then I would have even deeper conversations like, what are the pros and what are the cons of enabling or disabling that, right? And we would go into deep, deep conversations, and hence why it took me 2 weeks to finally get this set up. And again, I was not in a rush. I really wanted to absorb the information. And then I started really realizing that there's patterns in the code. Once you start knowing certain command lines, you start getting the hang of it. It really made me uh, feel like I was back, like, what, in 2005, when we were like, coding our MySpace pages. And oh, you wanted to put, a music player, you wanted to change the icon of your mouse, maybe you wanted to change the scrolling page. Like, that's literally what it was. Because then you start realizing, oh, there's like, I use the backslashes, I use the lesser than sign, greater than sign for different things, right? You start noticing. And so now I feel really almost comfortable executing certain commands now with the code. And I feel super empowered. I feel super proud of myself for going through that. It was not easy. There were nights where I was running into errors, and I had to keep doing trial and error. I run on a Windows, and so I had to even go through certain firewalls and defenses that are automatically installed in your laptop if you have a Windows. It was very technically complicated, but not impossible. Like, you just have to have the patience to work through that. And once you do and you like figure it out, it's the most gratifying, rewarding feeling in the world. It's like, oh my gosh, once you work through it, it's like you've leveled up. If you're in Mario and you just like, got that mushroom and you just leveled up, like that's how I felt. I was like, all right, like I've got more tools in my arsenal now. I feel badass, if you will. But yeah, that's kind of been the journey for me. And yeah, last night was when it finally finished loading. And I know it's taken about 4 days for most people, but I was able to edit the code so that it would take me 26 hours, which is pretty fast in my opinion. I could have actually made it go faster if I directly plugged in the internet cable to my computer, but I was like, it's all good. I'll just go off of the direct Wi-Fi, So, anyways, yeah, that's my Web3 news, a personal accomplishment of mine. So that's that. I guess I'll give myself claps here.
Yes, thank you. You got the cue. I think we have had a lot of people. Looks like I was just scrolling through your tweet. A lot of somebody said, Holly said she's proud of you. She sent me Yagi, Mr. Miyagi, to say he's proud of you. You got this guy, my friend, living legend. You got the Mario. So you feel like Super Mario right here. This is you
that's
right here.
Me. That's how I feel like getting that mushroom.
Absolutely amazing. Love it. You got a standing ovation from Meryl Streep as well. Who's awesome. I mean, yeah, I think we're all very proud of you, Val. So
yeah, I was really shocked, honestly, about how many likes and retweets and comments I got on that, because I'm like, who's really gonna care? Everybody and their mom has already done this. But again, I think it's because most people copy and pasted, and that's fine. They maybe wanted something temporary. This is something that I truly believe in, and I want to sustain long term if I can. We'll see how my internet bill comes back next month, but I'll let you guys know. But yeah, I believe in this long term. And I really took the time to really understand the code. And I was genuinely surprised of how many people reached out and said that they're happy for me, they're proud of me, and also some people that are interested in doing the same thing. So I'm excited to teach others how to do it, because it does seem very daunting and overwhelming at first when you're looking at that window that has all the lines of code and you're like, I don't know what any of this means. I don't want to touch it because I don't want to, mess it up. But really take the time, go through it, and as you start noticing patterns, it's not that scary. You just got to do it. You just got to work through it. So I'm excited to get some more people becoming part of the network and validating and being part of the decentralization of it all. And I think as more people are adopting Bitcoin and choosing Bitcoin as their currency, we're gonna need more nodes on the network to help reduce that congestion, and of course to help secure the network, make it trustworthy and strong, and all that good stuff. So yeah, if you're interested, feel free, anyone, to DM me, and I'd be happy to like white glove you through it, because I think it's important and I think it's fun, and maybe that's the nerd in me. But yeah, and also shout out to the women who acknowledged me too. That was really cool. A lot of women acknowledged me, and that was awesome.
There we go with another sound effect from me. That was the award-winning sound effect for you, Val. Oh my goodness, that's super exciting. I got started on the process, and then I got overwhelmed with all the other things I have to do. So I will definitely be hitting you up for that, Val.
And yeah, I've got all I've got to do is just spend the time now. But the process has begun. Bitcoin Core is downloaded. So yeah, we'll update you on that. I'll let you know how my lessons with teacher Valerie goes next week. Maybe next week. I'll give you an update on that next week. But what I have done on Bitcoin, since we've been talking about Bitcoin for a while, as you guys may or may not remember, when I think that was season 3 when the Bitcoin ETF was approved. We were talking about it leading up to and during, and then we even got faked out by like that whole SEC getting hacked on Twitter. Like, we were live talking about Bitcoin when that fake tweet went out, and we thought it was real. We announced it live. Oh my gosh, that was such a fun time. Anyway, so I've been also playing with Bitcoin, and I did mint I minted it wasn't an ordinal because the ordinals protocol hadn't launched yet, but it was an NFT on Stacks, which is built on Bitcoin. So I did that, a while back, at least a year ago. And then just recently, I minted my actual first ordinal, and it was before the happening, about a couple days. Yep, this is a relic, y'all. It's a pre-happening ordinal. All right, that means something to some people. But regardless of that, it's also my very first ordinal ever, and it was a collab with my sister Isa Artista. It is a photo that represents a short clip from a performance that she was at in person and photographed, and also took videos of. So take a look at that. I'll pin it in the comments here in a minute. But yeah, just all I have to say is it wasn't us necessarily, but our show color is orange, and it's been orange for the past couple of years. So I don't know. Did we usher in the Bitcoin era? Who's to say?
I think Lorenzo had a big part in it. I mean, Lorenzo has been sporting orange since he was born. So I think we kind of started the meta. I'm gonna say that. I'm comfortable saying that.
Tyler.
I concur.
He concurs. And Garfield, aka Lorenzo, purrs in agreement. All right, Tyler concurs and Lorenzo purrs. Let's go. We may be too comfortable. In our satin robes and Bitcoin hoodies, making these crazy claims. But anyway, whatever. This is our show, and we can say the craziest things we want. And with that, I see you have our friend, Me Friendship Tech, who joined us on stage. I don't know if they're by their mic, but if they are, welcome. Thanks for coming up. How are you?
I believe they're in a meeting if they can't unmic. Just saying.
Well, I want to say hi then. I still want to say thanks for coming up. And feel free to jump in anytime. But I also see my friend Woman in the audience. And I see Hard. And I see Caden, who actually I collected some art from last week. He's a young creator in the space. So shout out to all the young artists. Thanks for coming to the show. Feel free, anybody who's an artist in here, feel free to drop any art in the comments. Like, if you got any art that you would like to share, whether it's yours or someone else's, like, please chill in the comments all you want. And we'll give you a shout out if we get a moment here. I'll show it on our screen. Okay, so with that, I did see Motivate came up, so maybe he could talk about on that screen. I'm not sure. Yes. What's up, Eric?
I'm here for 2 seconds trying to find a Google Hangout link to join and failing, so I might just skip it. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, bummer. We're so sad you can't find the Google link. You mean you have to hang out with us here?
Yeah,
My
how unfortunate, right? And the bad part is they follow me on Twitter, so they're just gonna hop over here and message me and see me up here and be like, "Hey, we've been waiting for you for 4 minutes now. Is this still going? Is this still happening?" I feel like you can't hide on social media at this point, like especially if you're doing anything live, you really can't hide.
Sorry, dude. We're sorry. This is what happens when you become a certain level of popular. I'm sorry to break it to you, but this is how it is. You know, they could jump on the space and they could talk to you on stage. You know, I've heard people do that. Be like, hey, check your DMs. But anyway, I hope you do find it. It's all good. But while we have you here, do you want to just give a quick shout out to the New York stuff we did?
Yeah, New York was incredible. I think everybody had a really, really amazing experience from start to finish, including myself, and it was a whirlwind. I think people don't really go to the conferences for the conferences, but the satellite events are what brings people together. And it's a double-edged sword. You have to have one, I think, in order to have people inspired or incentivized to do the other. And so from the events that we did together to the event with ICP, to the event with NY1Force, to the event with LFG, to all the new friendship tech events, to all the events that I don't remember because I was running around like a madman. It's a lot. And I just hope y'all didn't get sick after leaving because a lot of people did. And yeah, I think that's just a matter of self-care, which I think in this space of blockchain, Web3, cryptocurrency, NFTs, et cetera, like it's a 24-hour, 7-day game. And so we kind of are conditioning ourselves to bad habits of lack of self-care, like sleep and eating and staying hydrated, which I see there's an abundance of lacking in these large conferences and conventions and summits. But yeah, hopefully y'all had a great experience. I know I did, and it was great seeing and working with both of you, or all of you, because Tyler's here as well, and Lorenzo's here as well, and now Keegan's here. But I don't think he did much other than show up, which is also a thing too.
He was moral support. Yeah, shout out
That's
to
it.
Keegan.
There you go.
He was moral
He
support.
pulled my wagon. He pulled up a bunch of the equipment. After the events, he was lugging that big wagon all over the place. So shout out to people like Keegan who are just there for moral support, emotional support, and sometimes physical support like that. So it takes a
Other types of
village.
physical support too, but we're not going to talk. Hey, just kidding. There's my sexy saxophone sound effect. Sorry, I don't have my soundboard, guys.
Oh
God, sorry. This is a family show. Okay, Tyler, I know you haven't, you weren't there in person in New York, but you were there in spirit. So I just wanted to see if you had anything you wanted to say to motivate. I know you guys have met. You guys met in LA at the Cypress Hill show, in case you guys don't remember.
Oh, I remember he was a wonderful host and took us to like one of the coolest views in Los Angeles at that fine Japanese restaurant, was it?
And we also met at VCon too.
There you go.
With the pillow giveaways is all I remember, and the pizza. But and I was DJing, right? Yeah, I was DJing. See, it's all a blur. That's what happens, right? You just it all blends together. I've got a cocktail / melting pot of great memories that I can't place name to face to NFT project that's here today, gone tomorrow, or meme coin that's here tomorrow and probably not actually going to be there tomorrow today. But yeah.
There's layers to this. There's layers to this, all right? And it's hard to keep track once your layers are stacked the way they are, right? We're on L3 now for blockchain, but layers for our show, I lost count a long time ago.
Just as long as it's not L7, because we are definitely not squares.
There's the ha 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 sound effect right there.
By the way, did they change the laughing? The laughing audience sounds different to me. Does it sound different to you guys? I feel like it's a different group of people laughing now. Unless that's just because I'm operating it. I don't know. Yeah, it sounds different to me.
Oh my gosh, it reminds me of the Seinfeld audience laugh. But anyway, guys, for anyone who's confused here on why I keep being like sound effects, it's because I usually run the sound effects. And today, since we have the video on, okay, here's the bug. I found a bug in the XUI. The bug is that when you have the video on, the button for the soundboard is right below it. So if I try to hit the soundboard right now, it'll probably turn off the video. And that has happened before, and it's just not worth it. So the duties are passed on to Val, who's not used to doing it. So that's why I've been, yes. Ding. Anywho, okay, so with that, I want to show, we have an article that Eric published on Blogster. I'm trying to figure out if I know where the link is. Here we go. Here it is. Yeah, Valerie posted it. Here we go. Okay, now that was faster than usual. Here we go. So just wanted to give y'all a quick little look-see at that. Shout out to our listener, our loyal listener, Jay Golding, who is in the photo here with me, showed up to our live event. Actually, shout out to him too, because he actually won the $100 Bitcoin raffle, which, by the way, it's still running. By the way, it's still running. So if you all want to join that, it's in the comments, I believe. The link is in the comments, and I'll put it back up here. But yeah, so here we have a little a group photo that we got. We got Vert here from the ONI community. We got the ICP homies right here. We got Kyle from the Swap, Dan from the Swap, CEO, founder, and COO. We got Michael from the Gold DAO. Obviously, we got Val here. In the front. I wasn't in this photo. I don't know what happened.
Pedro from ICP tried to go grab you, but you were having a little sesh outside. So that's
oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, I can't be too sad. I regret nothing. I regret nothing, but this is a cool group photo. Okay, here we go. So yeah, check out the article. The link is going to be posted here in the comments. And thanks for doing that, Eric. Yeah, anything else you might want to share if you're still not in your Google Meet?
I'm watching them waiting on me to accept their join, and it's now been 12 minutes. So I think if I don't want to ruin this opportunity, I must depart. But I will be here in spirit, and that should be good enough for the time being.
We appreciate your spirit. Absolutely. So good luck. Good luck on the Google. Appreciate you coming. And yes, everybody. We what else? I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, maybe we should talk about the giveaway real quick before we move on to the next.
Yeah, let's do it. And while we do that, do you want to pull it up, and do you want me to talk about it, or you want to talk about it? Me. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So if you haven't heard, we are running a $100 Bitcoin giveaway. Bitcoin is the cryptocurrency that everyone loves and talks about and started this whole Web3 space. So yeah, you might want to get some Bitcoin right now, and you can get some for free. This is due to our $15,000 grant we were awarded by Internet Computer, which basically is a decentralized cloud service. So they're really, really great for storing your files for really, really cheap, which also means that they can integrate with Bitcoin. So they have their layer where you're able to launch your own Ordinals if you're an artist looking to do that as a collection. check them out because you can do it for really, really cheap. And you guys can kind of see right now, Bitcoin fees are super high because of the runes hype. So if you want to do it, you have some sort of deadline, you're super excited about doing a collection on Bitcoin for Ordinals, check out ICP. But due to them, we're able to give a total of $500 of Bitcoin out. That is part of mine and Creatress proposal. Is we want to get people onboarded into this ecosystem. We wouldn't be talking about this if we didn't believe in the technology ourselves. We have been using it. We've been transacting on it. It's super fast, and literally the fees are like 0.0000001. It's pretty crazy. It's like literally smaller than a cent. And the one great thing, I mean, there's many great things, but one of the great things about it is that they have a mechanism called the reverse gas model. And so rather than users paying the gas fee, the large gas fee, it's on the developers who make the smart contracts. So the developers are the one who pays the gas. Isn't that awesome? I think it's freaking awesome. Let's do some hand clapping. Yep. And so we would love for you to get onboarded. So in order to get involved and participate in our giveaway, check the pin tweet up top. We would love for you to create your ICP internet identity. And the ID is basically your passport to access all things ICP. You do not have to log in with a different ID every single time you want to access one of their platforms. It's literally one login for everything, which is super nice because we know we hate retyping in our passwords. We hate typing in a username. So what the ID does, it just makes it really seamless so that you can go onto any DApp that they may have and you're good. So it's really quick. It should take you no longer than 5 minutes. It doesn't require you to download any apps. I would definitely recommend you using your computer or laptop. It's going to be a little bit easier. You will sign up, get your ID. It will ask you to put in a passkey. So whatever PIN you want to use, that's cool. If you use your phone, you do have the option to put in a passkey or use your Face ID if you have like an iPhone or something. So if you like that, you can use your phone. And then after, we'd love for you to just screenshot a picture of your ID. It's totally safe to share that ID out. It's similar to like your wallet address. It's not your secret phrase or anything. So you can screenshot it, you can share it with us, and just make sure you use the hashtag ICP Raffle 5. And that will get you entered into this giveaway. We will be announcing the winners this Friday. We have a special edition of our show this Friday for There's Layers to This, where we will be announcing the winner. And this is our last giveaway, guys. This is the last one. If you've been following the journey, we've been doing this for almost a month, giving these giveaways of $100 in Bitcoin. And so this is your very last chance. Do not wait to the last minute. You may forget. If you're listening to this, do this now. Another great thing is if you are a supporter of myself and or Creatress and or Tyler and or Lorenzo, if you love what we do here on our show and you want to support us besides just tuning in, definitely it will help to sign up for your ICP ID because we do have a quota we want to make. So we want to get about at least 75 people to be onboarded into the ecosystem of ICP. And so by you entering to this giveaway, whether you win or not, directly helps us meet that goal. And so we would appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts if you can do that. Like I said, it takes no longer than 5 minutes to set it up. If you have any issues or questions, we would love to help you through it. Feel free to DM us and we'll walk you through it. But I think that's pretty much it for the giveaway. We will do it. Yeah, we'll announce it this Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific. We enter them into a wheel of names, so it's completely random. We share it live, so you can see that there's no rigging whatsoever. And yeah, shout out to our past winners. We've had our very first winner was Authored, so congrats, Authored. Our second winner was Jay Golding Art down there in the audience, who won the IRL event giveaway in New York. And then shout out to Quasar Music, who won just recently in our last giveaway last week. Congrats to you. So yeah, this could be you. Don't fade it. Don't fade it. This is easy. This is an easy way to possibly make $100 in Bitcoin. So yeah, and make sure you check out Open Chat. Open Chat is ICP's Web3 version of Telegram. Again, no apps to download required. And so we've got a channel in there called There's Layers to This. And so we love hanging out with some of our supporters in there. And there's also other giveaways that go on. We are partnered with the Swap, who is part of the ICP ecosystem. He's also part of the 0n1Force community. And he frequently runs giveaways for free money, free tokens in that chat. So it kind of pays. It kind of pays to be in there, if you will. So yeah, thank you. That's it. I don't know, Creatress, any words about that as well?
No, I think you covered it all. Yeah, definitely check out the Swap. Give them a follow. It's _Swap SWOP. Super cool. Founder and COO. We got to really know them in New York in person, although we had already worked with them previously over virtual. So yeah, that was really cool to finally make that in-person connection, spend time with them, have them on the panel that we put together. And yeah, no, I'm excited to do more with them. We're also working on a collab. Actually, that's what I wanted to share. I did see Wiz came up, so I want to go to him. But first, I want to talk about this. I know I mentioned it at the beginning of the space, but I actually pulled up the tweet. So this is a tweet that was put out by Eunice. I just pinned it up at the top. And she says, quote, "Look, we always say no art is original. Everything's been done before. But Creatress Art really broke the matrix and pioneered a new with our collab." And so she's talking about a collab that just dropped today. And it is a collab with the founder of the Swap, who we were just talking about, Kyle. He was at our performance at NFT NYC, and he took this photograph. And so our collab is a 4-way collab. We split it evenly 4 ways. And anybody who collects this photograph is supporting all 4 creators who took part in this, right, in making this photograph. So yeah, shout out to everybody who's involved in that. That's on Foundation now. I believe it is a mint of 333 editions, because there's 3 of us, and it's a very low price. Maybe I think it's 0.02 ETH on base, so maybe $6, $7, depending on what gas is looking like, depending on the price of ETH. But yeah, take a look at that. Give it a like, give it a retweet if you can, and keep a lookout, because we are working on a collab, another collab with the Swap with Dan and Kyle, who are the leaders of it. They also got a video and really good audio of our performance. So we will be dropping a video with some highlights of our performance soon. And oh, I moved my phone. I forgot I was videoing. That's that. What I've got. Thank you.
I do wanna comment on that. I absolutely love what Eunice said about how you really are, and it's not just you, Creatress. It's really the 3 of you who have broken through that and did pioneer something completely new. And I I hope it gets the spotlight that you guys deserve, even more than what you guys are getting now. Because I think things like this need to be amplified more, especially for the artists, the people like you who are bringing the entertainment and the culture to the blockchain. Blockchain can be very boring if it's just the tech and if it's just, finances, right? Like, what makes this fun and unique are people like you who are the creatives, who are the entertainers, the performers, the artists, to bring the culture. And I've said this multiple times on our show, and I probably say this every episode. It takes both the devs and the creatives to really bring this mainstream. And so definitely go out there if you're listening, go mint this, because it's absolutely historical, groundbreaking. And I mean, come on, we've wanted women and people of color to show representation on stage. And I love, love, love you guys up there, you gals up there. It's just everything that I want to see and that I've seen other people want and advocate for. And you guys not just talk the talk, but you guys are walking the walk. And I think that just needs to get amplified more and more and more. We need to see more of it. And it was just magic watching you guys up there live. Like, I kind of wish I was just in the audience to absorb it, because I was live streaming you guys too at the same time. So I was like also trying to multitask, making sure I'm looking at the comments. People are like talking, and people coming up to me saying, "Oh, how's that creatress?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's creatress." And there are people who didn't know who you were, and I'm telling them about you. I'm basically, your talent manager sometimes, if you will. But yeah, I just kind of wish I was able to be in the audience to fully absorb it. So I was a little jealous for those who could. But even then, participating and absorbing it in the way that I was, it was still like that magical of an experience to be like, wow, here I am in this moment, being in the presence of 3 strong women who are complementing one another, uplifting one another, creating something organically and live without rehearsing too, without like really rehearsing in person. Yes, you guys had met, online through video, going over like, the programming of how things would work. But truly, I mean, that just showcases how great of like artists the 3 of you are to vibe off of one each other's like energy in that way in real time. Not everyone has those skills. And so that is what makes you guys truly great artists at what each of you do individually, and then what you guys can do together. It's pure magic is how I can best explain that.
Oh my gosh, Val, thank you so much for that incredible review. I'm gonna clip that, and I'm just gonna have that playing on the front page of my website as people arrive.
Please do again. It needs to be amplified. I will scream and yell at the top of my lungs how great that was. And it may come off biased because we're great friends, but truly, like, people will understand the more that they see it and experience it. They'll get it. They'll get it.
I really appreciate you, Val. And yeah, all of the work that went into, helping support the performance and the live stream. I mean, yeah, I definitely, all the props to you. And yeah, I don't even know what to say. I mean, Web3 Space Girls is my first idea for our girl group name. Not Spice Girls. The Spice Girls has been done, but Space Girls, I mean, hey, I don't know.
I like
oh my
it.
gosh.
I think that's creative. That's fun. I like that. And that's a good point too that you bring up about like the support of Like I was live streaming and so was Daniel and the Swap, right? They had like their top like audio equipment because we have said this before, like NFT NYC themselves was not like live streaming it. Like it took us, people who just said, hey, let's do it, right? Like because we know the importance of showcasing this to people and to like there's more people who are not there than there are who are present, right? And so it's just like I've always said, if there's no picture or video proof of what occurred, then did it really happen? Only the people that are there in person know it. But if that's such a small group of people who get it, like, are we really onboarding and adopting people into what you can do with the tech and what like you can create and the power of the decentralization? Like literally anyone from any socioeconomic background can participate in whatever it is their skills or strengths are. Like if you're not a developer or coder, but you're an artist, if you're a dancer, if you're a DJ, there are ways to participate in that way in this tech. And so yeah, thank you for acknowledging us too to being your support group, because it is unfortunate NFT NYC themselves, you know, didn't do that part. And I hope that if they continue to do this, they have a lot of things they need to improve on, but that is one major thing that they need to bring is their camera crew, their photographers to like make sure this gets amplified. Because why are they spending all of the millions and thousands of dollars to provide, you know, the audio engineers and the stage and the big LED screens and all of that? Like, what are you doing if you're not, you know, capturing that? So yeah, that's just a piece out there if anyone from NFT NYC team happens to listen to this. But you know, we know that they need that, so hopefully they do.
Yes, advocating for that at all events, really. And, you know, one event that's actually been really good at that has been East Denver. I worked with them in 2023. Valerie actually hooked me up with them. She heard that they were looking for somebody to help them off-site with social media. So I helped them get all of their workshops and all of their sessions. Like every time a speaker would go up and do a panel, or not just panels, but like a keynote, all these things. They had somebody, me, and a few other people uploading those videos as soon as they were ready. So they could be viewed online on YouTube by people who weren't there in person. And I want to say within about a week, like over, I don't know, 300, maybe 500 sessions were all like, they're all up on YouTube now and anyone could watch them forever. So something like that would be great. Also, I got to give a shout out here to ETH Global, because ETH Global has been doing a lot of events across the world, specifically about building on Ethereum hackathons. And when I performed for them in Mexico, they actually made a really nice video of my performance with like 3 different. They recorded it. First of all, they recorded it from 3 different camera angles. So there's that, and then they had they made a video with a compilation of, you know, all of the footage they had from different angles, and they, you know, edited it and all that, and they put it out on their ETH Global account on YouTube and, you know, tweeted it and everything. So that was just like amazing. On top of, you know, like paying me to go out there and do this for them. I mean, it was incredible. So my props go to ETH Global, #1, and then ETH Denver for how they document and then, you know, publish the stuff that they do. And with that, one more thing, I got to give a shout out to Jay Golding in the audience, who just collected mixed reality performance art, the collab that we were just talking about. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Let's go. Now it's 5 have been collected, y'all. Thank you so much. Everybody share the link if you can. Like I said, it's a pretty low cost to mint. So I encourage you to go check it out. It's 0.003 ETH. I don't know. I think I said something else earlier, but yeah, it's 0.003 ETH plus like a 0.008 mint fee on Foundation. And actually, this is only the second NFT that I've ever minted on Foundation. So, pretty special, I'd say. But honestly, that's not really the special part. Is that it's us three up there, and it was taken by Kyle from the swap. And actually, one more thing I'll just say is also, if you look at the photo, the screen behind us is showing not my 3D art, but it's showing the audience. So everybody who's in the audience is basically in this photo. Now you can't see anybody's actual face because they were pretty far, and this is kind of how my headset reimagines them, or like recreates the image that it's looking at and feeds it back to me. So it's not like a specific photorealistic, but it looks almost like an artistic rendition of what the audience looked like looking at us up on stage. So there's layers to this.
Very cool. That is cool. I didn't even think about that. That's so true. The audience that was there. Can we zoom up again? Look at that. Look at the audience you guys had. Like, if you can kind of see the outlines and shadows of the people, like, there was a whole crowd. People were dancing. It was a vibe. It was a great time.
Thank you, Val. Thank you. So yeah, it's out there. And like I said, there'll be a video NFT coming out soon. It's going to be priced a little bit higher. I got to talk to my collaborators about that. But yeah, anybody here, we got about 10 more minutes. If you want to come up and share, any questions, comments, anything like that, more than welcome. I see we have Gas Fairy here. Sixala, hello, my friend, and Hishmad. Yeah, thanks for coming by. And Wiz, you've been up here a while. You got any thoughts on anything that we've shared so far?
Yo, it's popping.
Hey, Wiz. Good to see you or hear you. How's it going?
Chilling, dog. Seeing a lot of usual shenanigans going on the Twitterverse. So, being a passive observer for the most part.
A lot of shenanigans, indeed. A lot of shenanigans.
Something I kind of wanted to point out, if I may. It's in reference to what was being spoken about earlier with the potential of blockchain and its role in the creator economy. I might get hanged by the maxis in here, but the world doesn't run on blockchain. It's one of those realities that I guess it's kind of hard for people to cope with. But at the end of the day, like any other tools, blockchain is just something that serves you, the user. It's all a matter of how you apply it. This narrative of mass adoption that prevailed in 2021, I think it's about time we put it to bed. Matter of fact, put it in the grave. How about that? There's no mass adoption happening anytime soon, but at the same time, blockchain's not going away, man. It's like one of those things where its use case, it's at least to me, it's pretty obvious. And I pinned on top for reference, someone that I featured on my podcast to the dot, actually, almost 3 years ago. At the time, granted, I was not doing the podcast full blown. I was just talking to people, getting to know, the community and kind of stuff like that. But something they said during that time really stood out to me. At the time, they mentioned that they were frustrated with Instagram because they were taking a lot of subject matter that were nudes, and as a result of that, Instagram would take down her posts. So as a result of her frustration, she moved over to Twitter, where the policies are a little bit more laxed. So it's kind of a bit of a case of I don't know if you want to call it coincidence or serendipity, but because of her entry in 2021 into the Twitter space, that led her to essentially run into the folks that were at the time hyping up NFT photography and all that. And since then, she's grown a pretty decent, audience, and she's also basically used the funding she got from her NFT patronage to start a venture to launch a short film. So that's, at least in my opinion, that's how it should be done. we don't need to yap about blockchain all day. Just do the thing, make the thing. If the audience likes it, they'll buy it. It's really as simple as that, man. You're muffled. You're really
Yeah,
muffled.
I definitely think there's different perspectives to look at it, and I don't know. Like I when I think about mass adoption, right? I guess when you could look at it like technicalities, right? What does mass adoption mean? But just like 2 weeks ago, like I should say, I've been planting the seed in my family's brain about just the tech in general, whether it's NFTs or digital currency. Like I've been planting that seed for over 2 years. And just last week, my aunt called me, like, was like, hey, what is this thing about Bitcoin you've been talking about? And so I'm like, whoa, okay. She's 54 years old, is very, very set in her ways, and doesn't really venture outside of what she knows. So for her to call me and ask about Bitcoin, that was like, uh-oh. To me, that was a signal like, uh-oh, mass adoption is coming. It is coming, in my opinion, just because of what I'm observing and experiencing in my environment, right? So to me, that was like a signal that it is coming. And to what degree, right? Because I think when you think about mass adoption too, you have to think about those who don't have the privileges that we do as far as like basic necessities, right? Like a roof over their head, water, and then do they even have access to internet, to phones, technology? So I think it's important to think about those communities and countries as well. But I have seen also personally about ways that our tech blockchain can solve for those problems. So, in my perspective, I do think mass adoption is still possible. Is it going to happen anytime soon? No, but I think we are inching towards that. But yeah, I think it happens in different ways. I think it's a very interesting conversation for sure. And I love that, the way the lady you're talking about got introduced into, NFTs is also just another way of finding how she can have more creative control and own what she wants to do and get support for that. Like I think that's amazing as well.
Yeah, I mean, another thing I've mentioned too is that for me, a lot of the people that I've spoken to about blockchain technology specifically, they've picked up on the fact that at the end of the day, it very much reads like an MLM pyramid scheme type of bullshit. Which, let's be honest here, 90% of the projects out there, that's basically what they are. They're just telling you to buy shit because they want you to FOMO in, and that criticism, these crypto bros, they'll never beat the allegations. Especially for someone like me who predominantly a lot of what I do, which is discussing the intersection of arts, culture, and technology, and publishing the insights from real people about it, not just my own insights. Every time I drop something about an opinion or a stance that's differing from a popular community, their first instinct typically is to shut it down. So I feel like from like adoption of like the culture itself, that's really what I'm talking about. But the tech itself, it's already gonna take care of itself. I mean, look at torrenting as a piece of technology, right? A lot of the people don't think about it, but to this day, it's actually one of the most popular usage of the internet. Communities of many kinds use it for all sorts of stuff, including transacting value around. So, in case you were not aware, by the way, the reason why I'm saying this is because the founders of BitTorrent actually built their own blockchain and their own protocols for transacting value. Obviously, you guys know proof of stake and proof of work. Their little twist on it, actually, they call it proof of space. So, very interesting technology all around that still holds strong. Almost 20 years later. And I'll leave you with this little clip from like a classic Eminem track. These little dudes at this point. Remember, everybody used to fight nickel. Now everybody doing Bitcoin.
more Bitcoin music. I think that's one way we're bringing in a couple people. Granted, not all the music's, my favorite yet, but there's some good stuff out there. Yeah, thank you for your insights, Wiz. You've always got some really good thoughts to share. Appreciate you. And I had something to say about this, but I forgot it, because this is, if I don't interrupt y'all in the middle and share my thought, like a lot of times it goes. So, but I know it was something good. So with that, I want to also go around. I see Hard came up and Z Creative, the homies. Actually, Hard. I'm gonna go to Hard first. He's been here since the beginning, and he just hosted a space where he interviewed me just yesterday. So what's up, Hard? Thanks for coming to our show.
Wasabi. How you doing?
Doing good. It's a nice warm day. Yeah, what'd you think of the show today?
It was good. I've been working, so I've been caught here and there, so I haven't been attentive the entire time, to be quite honest. But so far,
wait, hold up. You don't have us on your TV? Are you telling me you're not on the TV on the couch watching us with popcorn? Oh my god.
I got you tuned in on the phone, but I had a few phone calls come in, unfortunately, so it's always a juggling act when that happens. But I dig it. I like the video. I like the video cast that you're doing, so we can actually see your art that you're speaking about. That's dope. That's something I've yet to do, but have been meaning to do. So good work getting that integrated.
Thank you very much. It's a juggling act over here too. Yeah.
But do it. It changes the vibe of the space. It definitely helps, right? With the visuals, and as you're talking, it helps. So as soon as you get to it, let us know, because we'll support it as well.
Yeah, definitely. And Hart, do you have anything you want to share with everybody before we close up the space? I know you just came up, but I don't know. Maybe you're hosting a space tomorrow or something. You got something going on you want to share? Please do.
Yeah, Thursday I've got 2 spaces. So at noon Eastern Standard, I'm going to be on with Trevor Jones and his team. We are discussing his ambitious drop that he's building right now, a big collection, multimedia collection, including cast bronze sculptures, ETH 3D NFTs, a big Ordinals collection of 7,777 Ordinals that are a little head nod to CryptoPunks and his Bitcoin Angel. So that's going to be fun. There's a lot of moving parts there. So we have 15 spaces in 13 weeks to try and make sense of it all for everybody. But there's going to be whitelist opportunities and giveaways of signed prints. So tune into that, noon Eastern Standard Time. If you follow the Trevor Jones Art, at Trevor Jones Art account, you can see it there, or the new Crypto Angels 777. So at Crypto Angels, the number 777. And then I'm also in talks right now to schedule to be determined time, but probably in the afternoon with Jack the Street. So Jack the Street is a photographer from the Bay Area, and Jack is building an NFT project that he launched last year. He's evolving it and building on top of it. It's called Turbo Toads. The account's called Nova Lab HQ. He's put a lot of time and effort into that. He's built a lot of cool mechanics into it. So that's worth checking out as well. That'll be broadcasted from the Turbo account. So yeah, I appreciate you letting me chill. That's what I got going on right now.
Let's go. I appreciate you sharing. And I heard giveaways. So, y'all know I love a giveaway. I just won a Le Poupette Ordinals a couple weeks ago via a giveaway, and I also won a few months ago a 2 G tags from 10KTF which are now these really cool grailed PFPs. Just saying, I've had some good luck. So I also want to say hard, consider us if you guys want to do a giveaway in collaboration with There's Layers to This. We're always open to that sort of thing. And anybody who might be listening, if you have an NFT collection that is not a rug, let me repeat, that is not a rug, then reach out to us if you want to give away some.
Unless the artwork itself is a rug. I mean, and there's utility, like, oh, you get a free rug on claim. I don't know. Then that makes sense.
That's been done though, Val, and that was a real rug. Nobody got real rugs. I don't think anyone actually got anyway. But yes, we would consider artwork of a rug if the NFT project was not a rug. Yes. Okay, we digress. There's layers to this. We get silly about it. Anyway, yes, we're open to sponsorships from reputable people and projects. Oh my goodness. Z Creative. What's going on, Jeff? How are you, my friend?
Hey, how's it going, guys? So I was thinking about what was being said earlier on this idea, like the killer app for Bitcoin, where people are just gonna, like, there's something that no other network could offer that is just gonna onboard a lot of people. But I think it has to be done in such a way where it's like people don't even really realize that they're using it. But yeah, maybe that's something like, I like the censorship resistant, like the aspect of Bitcoin. And so like maybe there's more and more totalitarian governments emerging as things get more chaotic in the world. And that could be like, maybe there's a messaging tool that comes out, like end-to-end encryption, or just people wanting to get information out there. And maybe that's the next killer app for Bitcoin. But that's my 2 cents on that.
I mean, it kind of sounds a little bit like what Warpcaster's doing. I mean, very similar, right? It's a social media app, and there's an opportunity to tip your favorite creators, people who are actually making great content, tipping them with degen. I mean, if someone can, either if Farcaster can be multi-chain and like allow that also on Bitcoin, cool. Or if someone else builds that dApp on Bitcoin, also cool. If both exist, great, right? The more the merrier. So I do agree with that. And I mean, when people are making money, or, even if it's pocket change, I mean, people come. Like every dime, every penny does matter and adds up, right? And I think that can go a long way, especially for people in countries that may not have all the privileges that we do here in the US, right? Like $1,000 check can go very far in some countries. So like, if they have an opportunity to make that, on a decentralized app, well, why not? I can definitely see that being the thing that can help with mass adoption for sure. Others will argue it's gaming. Others will argue different things, but yeah, I'm excited to see. And I think it's not just going to be one thing, right? I think it's going to be a little bit of everything. And then it just all kind of, everyone's here, everyone's transacting with digital currency in one way or another. Is it through play to earn kind of games? Is it through a social media app? Is it just, hey, I need to send money over to my family across the world? Like, I think it's all just going to kind of mesh together at once, in my opinion. So we shall see. We shall see.
And with all the fiat money printing, like it's probably just a matter of time till all that goes to zero, and then some other better system is adopted, and that might be blockchain because it's more transparent. But I don't know. It's going to be an interesting decade coming out here for sure.
100%. And it makes me like so excited because all of us who are here today in the space, and I don't mean just our spaces, our show, I mean in general, the space, like we know, we understand it, we get it. And so it's just like I'm drooling, I'm salivating, waiting for others to like have that light bulb in their head, like, oh, this is the solution. This is where I can own my own data. This is where I get to decide um, where I want to spend my money and to who, without control from an outside entity saying, oh, sorry, you got to wait 5 to 7 business days, or oh, sorry, we're going to lock you out of your account because of X, Y, or Z, right? Like, I'm waiting for people. I can't wait for people to see the power and being your own bank and, you know, owning your own data, getting to choose how you spend it. And if you want to monetize that, you know, we get it though. We're here, we're early. And so we're just vibing off one another. And I love it. But there is layers to this. There's layers to this for sure. I wanted to ask you, Z Creative, how is it going with your node? Did you power through it? Did you figure it out?
Yeah, well, thank you. Well, I mean, I got as far as downloading the blockchain, but then, you know, couldn't figure out the whole coding aspect of it with the ord stuff. But you know, I just ended up using like Luminex and Unisat and all those good third-party tools. I see it's on Magic Eden now with the runes. But yeah, just waiting for better, more useful tools to start, I guess, getting more liquidity and like movement in that ecosystem for sure.
Okay, so are you planning to maintain the node, or because yeah, I like I said, I don't know if you were here earlier, but I don't know if you saw a pin tweet, but I had just barely got my node set up today at 4
Oh,
a.m.
nice.
But I'm doing it slowly because I truly want to participate in the network and like long term, and I wanted to understand what the code means. So I'm
Yeah.
actually here doing it for that purpose.
Oh,
But
cool.
yeah, and some people are just doing it temporarily, right? Because they just wanted to either A, go through the process, understand, like quickly understand it, or B, they want to etch their own runes. Like, how are you planning to utilize the node, if anything, past this point?
Yeah, I mean, really just keeping it running and learning more about what's entailed to do new things as they emerge. But if there was any kind of tutorials for Mac that you might come across, let me know. Because all so far, I just have it like the full blockchain is downloaded and it's like just the software is running, but I don't know what that means or what to do next. So really just learning a lot.
Yeah, and I guess like you now are participating as like an active validator. Like, as the network gets more people and it could potentially get more congested, the more nodes we have, the faster people will get validated. So at that very basic level layer, if you will, basic layer, you are part of the network. So I think that's pretty rad. I hope you get to the point, if that's what you want, to like get your ords client set up, maybe, you know, release something on Ordinals or etch a rune. I am going to go through that part at some point. I'm thinking I'm going to wait to the end of this week, because what I do notice is that like as I'm downloading things, and if I'm trying to do something else in the background, like edit videos or, you know, try to stream or maybe play some video games, you know, like it slows down the process. So I'm probably going to wait till this weekend to do that. But as I go through it, I'll definitely like try to help you out or like share any information that I come across. I know I'm running on Windows, but I think it's pretty similar on Mac, but I am aware that typing in your commands may be slightly different. And I think
Oh.
that's where the the I'm not going to say issues, but obstacle can be, right? Like if you're trying to follow a Windows tutorial, but you're on Mac, the commands are gonna be the 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 outcome is the same, but the way you put in the command is gonna look a little different on Mac. That's
Okay.
what I know. Yeah.
Gotcha. So if I'm just running the node just to decentralize the validation network, then that's one thing. But
Hmm.
you're talking about getting into like adding the order uh cord protocol, and then
Ord client, the Ord
the
client.
yeah, the
Yeah.
ord client, and that takes some kind of like terminal coding to get that running together and indexing, it's apparently.
Yeah, that's gonna be the next step if like you're going through what everyone's been sharing. Yeah, the
Okay.
Bitcoin course, just the validating, being part of the network, helping with security and decentralization. And then the Ord client is where you get deeper, and it's kind of the point where, okay, I'm interested in doing an ordinal one of one or collection, like inscribing and or getting to the point where you want to etch your own runes.
Oh, cool. Okay. Sweet. Yeah, I'm still thinking about what kind of art I may want to like inscribe. Um, but yeah, just excited for the journey. Thanks.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I've been thinking a lot about it. I've got some memes I've created that are like on standby. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do it that way, or maybe I want to release some like meaningful art. Like I've been talking about it with Creatures for a while about art, and I have not released anything at all. It's been a really long time since I've done art. Like I used to draw and I used to paint when I was younger. I like stopped that part of my life, but I've been really inspired hanging out with all of you guys and just like wanting to make my mark on the blockchain forever. So
I can't wait. You did, first of all, you did talk about some art, and Janine even invited you to possibly be part of an exhibition. So
yeah.
I don't know, maybe that same art, which I think will end up being very meaningful, could be,
Yeah,
your rune.
that's true. Well, maybe not a rune, but maybe an ordinal, because I think
Yeah, either.
for her show, I have been thinking about taking some flowers, petals, and making like an image through that on canvas. And then maybe turning that into an ordinal. So having the physical and having it permanently on the Bitcoin blockchain. And I think that will be extremely meaningful because it would be a dedication to my mom, who, if you haven't heard, has passed back in 2020, and it was very tragic. It was unexpectedly. So I think just to um, have that as a tribute to her, I think is the route I'm going and thinking of doing. I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm like, oh my god, like I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it, because it's like my heart bursts with like excitement and love just thinking about it. So that's how I know I'm like, this is probably what I'm going to end up doing.
Sounds like you're onto something, for sure. I think that's kind of how you know what direction to take when it comes to these things. So yeah, I can't wait to see it. You already know. Y'all stay tuned. Yeah, Val, I did notice Natalie came up, but I think she either got rugged or maybe she can't speak anymore. But I just got to give a shout out to Natalie Crew in the building. She commented, we already had rug NFTs. It was a hell of a rug too. And then, so I think she's talking about the one I was talking about. And then she said, I am the rug. So shout out to Natalie for always keeping it hilarious with her comments. And yeah, with that, I think I don't know. I imagine Eric's probably in his meeting, so we won't ping him. But thank you
Let's
for
send him
being
good
here.
juju. Whatever the meeting is, it's everything he needs, everything he wants. Sending you good juju.
Yes, sending the good Yoda vibes. Thank you for being here. Thank you for working with us on the events in New York. Yeah, and everybody who's here and listened in. Oh, also, we had some people enter the giveaway. So shout out to everybody who entered the giveaway. Yeah, we had Gas Fairy entered. We had Chanel, Julia, who was listening in the audience for a while. I don't think she's here anymore, but Yeah, shout out to the homies who entered the giveaway. I thought I saw somebody else. But either way, y'all still have time. The giveaway is pinned on the There's Layers account that we run. The There's Layers account is here on stage. Make sure you give it a follow. That's where we post all the important news. And if you want to get a retweet, you can always send us a DM at the There's Layers account. If you have been in our show and you heard us say, hey, if you ever need support with a retweet or whatever, then that means you're welcome to reach out, right? If you're a listener, we want to support you too, because you all come and listen to us get funky and silly. And I mean, we say some good stuff too. We drop some alpha, but we appreciate you supporting us. So we're happy to do the same. So yeah, the There's Layers account is made to be a fun show account where we share all the updates, all the giveaways, and we also support our listeners. So thank you again for being here today on another beautiful Tuesday, a Toads Tuesday. Shout out to the Toads. Oh my gosh, I haven't done the Cryptoads update in a while, so let me just do that really quick. For anybody who doesn't know, the Cryptoads are a CCO project by Grempelin, the artist Grempelin. And I got a really cool PFP from the Nouns and the Toads. And one of the things I said I would do in honor of the PFP is give a little update on the Cryptoads every week on our show. So here's what the Cryptoads look like, because you've never seen them. Lorenzo from the There's Layers account, as you can see, the PFP on There's Layers, he is our mascot, and it is a Cryptoad. So total volume on the Cryptoads is over 79,000 ETH. Floor price is 0.39, and they've only got 4% listed. And there's about 3,825 owners, unique owners. So that means most people own about 2 toads. We don't own a toad, but that's part of why we love CCO, because CCO means everybody is welcome to use the Crypto's art for whatever they want. And so it is our beautiful mascot. It is on our robes. The robe I'm wearing right now has this Cryptoad, who we call Lorenzo, all over it. We've got Cryptoads on Valerie's hat that she's wearing. We've got merch that we have designed specifically because we love our show. We love Lorenzo and the lore behind him. And yeah, there's layers to this, y'all. Pretty soon we'll have some. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, give the in space video a little peek, since they can only see the giveaway one. Give them a little peek of what we look like today, what we're dressed in. There we go.
So this is what we're wearing today for those in the space. I got the satin robe, the Lorenzo satin robe with my name on it. Valerie's wearing the bucket hat, the reversible bucket hat, and she's wearing a Bitcoin hoodie, which we were actually giving away at the event.
Yeah, LFG. Shout out to LFG, Decentralized Exchange, for all your crypto needs, for sure. So shout out to LFG, Internet Computer, and of course our mascot Lorenzo.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Catch you on the next one.
Ciao.